History is often told from the side of the Europeans discovering a never before seen land. But what if that land was once occupied by a whole other group of indigenous people and they lost their space to these Europeans? In the following conversation between two older women, one native Winona and one European Freya, telling their stories, we get a deeper understanding of how it really felt for both of the east and west sides.
Do you ever wonder how it felt for us? Do you understand that we knew you had come for something? It was terrifying. Our land was taken over. You were not the first to find this land. We have been here for thousands of years prior to you coming.
I do think about it. How did your people see us when we came?
Your people arrived with their ships and their aspirations for different future. However, it was nothing new to us. We called it home long before anybody had crossed the sea. We had been residing on these waters and on this land. However, you arrived and we had to decide whether to fight or to accept. Osamokumak, where my family lived and prospered, existed before you arrived in Roanoke. This place was as familiar to us as our own breath. We knew it better than the first people to arrive, who sailed from the other side of the ocean, along with their mettle and hunger. They would eventually bring illness as well, and we needed to know who these strangers were. We made an effort to comprehend them. In addition to trading, several of us made an effort to impart our knowledge of the country and our medicine. However, you failed to learn. You came to take and not to trade.
I had never known you felt that way. In all the stories I've ever heard, the settlers were welcomed with open arms. We had only heard of the peaceful exchanges, but I never realized how much loss you all went through in order to follow through with those exchanges. And for that, I am sorry. Our cultures were so different. Everything must have felt alien to you.
The first effort at a long-term English settlement was Roanoke. They came with the intention of creating something enduring. However, they were unaware that the land was not theirs. All three groups, the Wampanoag, Powhatan, and Algonquian, had unique lifestyles and ways of being. And there were old ways long before the English believed they had a place
The
there.
area was empty when the Pilgrims arrived, a place where they might construct their goals and aspirations. It was unspoiled, they thought, and it ready to be made into something civilized. The settlers believed that they were on a divine mission to introduce Christianity and the advancement to a pagan world. Much as the Puritans in Massachusetts, they thought that by improving the forest and enlarging their world, they were creating a better future. But instead, they were stripping our own beliefs away from us. Everything we had built from the ground up. It was heartbreaking to us and our families.
England was crowded. We believed we had finally found a solution. I don't think we meant much harm.
I'm sure you didn't, Freya. But what about how we suffered from the diseases? These exchanges brought so many illnesses with them. We also lost our deputy to one of these diseases, Granny Mio. We had no sense of structure anymore. He was our only hope. He had been our mediator. He was the largest part of the exchanges with the Europeans. After that, lots of arguing and violence occurred.
I remember Mineo. He did a pretty good job at mediating too, no? Actually,
Some could say that. He pretty much threw away his own culture and adopted the ideas of cultural aspects of the English, though.
we seemed pretty ignorant to the native politics, and for that I am sorry. My biggest worry was keeping my family safe.
And by doing so, my family got removed from our home and my culture was destroyed.